Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Nile Cruise. Today we'll be celebrating a very special place and a very special occasion. I'm Ahmed Nader and I'll be partnered with Nashwa Rashid. Hello Nashwa.
Hello, Ahmed, and welcome all of you to this edition of the Nile Cruise. First of all, Happy New Year to all of you. Egyptians are celebrating today, Muslims and Christians as well, the New Year and, of course, the Christmas. Well, when it comes to this here, we are in one of the most important places. We are in St. Mark's Coptic Orthodox Cathedral, and this is one of the most important cathedrals. And not only this, but we have a lot of things to bring you from this beautiful place.
And of course, don't forget us to follow us on Nile Cruise, on Nile TV, on Twitter, Facebook and Google+. So let's go.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight!
Egyptians have started the end of the year celebration with Christmas on the 25th of December. Usually Egyptians buy gifts, and Christmas trees and lights fill the streets of Egypt with festive moods.
هو كريسماس لازم تبقى حاجاتنا عامة.
Christmas this year is definitely different from last year. Last Christmas it was good, we had more business. This year Christmas comes at the same time as the referendum. People have a lot on their mind, namely politics. People are distracted by the results of the referendum. Yes, we still have customers, not as much as last year, but people still do celebrate Christmas, especially since it's a religious celebration. They feel they must celebrate, even if it's a small celebration.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells.
This year, less and less Christmas trees and lights can be seen in the streets. Egyptians, whether Muslim or Christians, used to enjoy celebrating this occasion. But this year, because of all the instability and economic hardships they faced, finding a very hard task. Honestly, this year I don't feel like celebrating because of the current situation in the country and the state it is in.
That's why we're looking forward to it, a little bit of cheer up, a little bit of festivity, so to lighten up the mood. And hopefully next year will be a better year for everybody.
I don't think the current situation allows for celebration, but the Egyptian people love life and being happy. So no matter what, we celebrate all occasions.
Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Fewer people celebrate Christmas also because of a change in mindset that has occurred in society with the rise of a number of conservative Islamist movements. This makes people less inclined to take part in the celebration. Egyptians are trying to celebrate Christmas by buying gifts and Christmas trees as a way to get out of the depressive mood that they're in because of economic hardships and political turmoil. This is Ruham Morsi reporting for Nile TV.
Welcome back. And now let's start talking about the new year. Well, of course, Egypt now, or the whole world, is paying farewell to the 2012, and we are starting a new year 2013. We have many hopes, many dreams for this year. Well, last year it was a controversial one, maybe more than 2011 if we compared it to anything that is taking place all around. So this year we all have our own dreams, our own hopes. There were certain stops or certain dates that we can stop at to think about it, to take a deep look from a political point of view to understand it so we can proceed. And this is something very important. If we want to proceed, we must understand exactly what is happening, what is taking place in each period of time. The best one to tell us more about it is Dr. Samir Ghunaim. He is Professor of Political Science and expert of human development in the United Nations. Hello,
Hello.
and welcome to the show.
Welcome to everybody, and happy New Year for everybody in Egypt, and Merry Christmas for Christian people in everywhere.
Happy New Year to you too, Doctor. Let's start with the 22nd of January of 2012 of last year. The final results of the parliamentary elections were announced. The Islamic parties constituted a large majority of the newly elected People's Assembly, with the Muslim Brotherhood's Freedom and Justice Party winning about 47% of the seats in the Assembly, and the Noor Party winning 25%. How was this event so decisive in the political panorama for the last year, most of the last year?
Really, first of all, I'm not sure exactly about this percentage, because really we all of us agree there is no discussion between the two types of our country, because really there is Islamic Brotherhood or Islamic Alliance, President Mohammed Morsi Islamic Alliance, and there's the lefts and liberals and Christian. I'm sure all of these don't have the same situation. All of you don't have the same table to discuss or to do something we need to know about our future in Egypt. So I'm really got a disappointment from this constitution voter, but really we have to confess and to convince and to know and to say all of us, we are agreement, it's okay, but still I have a concern, still I have a worried about future Egypt, because really still now we haven't any bridge to continue for the future trends for Egypt.
Also on the 31st of May, talking about the emergency law that has been lifted, the old one has been ended, and the emergency law has been lifted, and many procedures took place. How do you see this, or how do you read it?
I'm not really feel something it's renewed, it's replaced, because really emergency law sometimes we need, I'm sure, and I love and I like democracies, and I'm not born in Egypt exactly, so that's I am with to cancel this emergency law, but really we haven't any security now, we haven't any peace in our country now, so that's I'm really afraid for tomorrow, because they have to depend and they have to say there is a many things you have to keep. Number one, we have to keep conversation, we have to keep conversation going on, and we have to keep continuing about the dialogue between all of the Egypt departments, because really still now we have a great amount of separate between liberals, lefts, and Christian and Islamic Brotherhood or Islamic Alliance, President Morsi.
But on the 14th of June of 2012, the Egyptian parliament was dissolved. How do you see this ruling by the Egyptian Constitutional Court and the consequences of this ruling for the past year?
Really, for the first time, I agree, because really the procedures which elected with the people in the first parliament, I don't agree, and I am sure it's not great for everybody who to agree with these people. But the second, I'm really surprised, because in all the time we elected some people who are not suitable for the same situation or for the same share, because really sometimes we need for Egypt's people who had a great agreement from everybody here. We need to keep discussion between each other, so that's the same people. I'm not agree with them, because really still now I don't agree with this constitution.
Moving on to the beginning of the new era, well, of course, with President Morsi, the first elected president, civilian president, and that was, of course, on 24th of June 2012. How do you talking about the new president, of course, there were some expectations, some needs, requirements. What are the basic needs from the president at this critical
Really,
period of time?
we have to send him the main or the core message now. You have try each time, please. You have the special responsibility to complete or to look for or towards engage all the parts and try to collect or try to get the same table between all of these sides, liberals, lefts, Christian, not only brotherhood, because really we need from all this, President Mohammed has a special responsibility to ask and to tell all viewers, all of these parts to come and try to keep conversation going on, to keep dialogue, because really we need to bridging culture between all of this, between all of the sides in Egypt or in the Egyptians parts. That's the main or the core for President Morsi in nowadays.
Doctor, a lot of people here in Egypt are having concerns about the future of art and culture in the country, and of course we're embarking on a new year, 2013. How do you see the future of such the art and culture?
Really, actually, I'm not afraid about the culture of Egypt, because really we still have the head of the market or the head of the steps in this part or in this session, because really we have a great people, but we need a great decision making for the people who care about the culture, who care about the drama, who care about the comic, because really Egypt is the best in the Arab world, not only in the Arab world, I think in the world in this, or are in the first to do or to make this investment.
in the
But
field.
we need to carry on. We need people who care about literature. But still now, really, sometimes I got disappointment. I'm really optimistic, but really sometimes I got disappointment, because really all what we have around us, all what we have around the culture, really give us some worry in the future. But we carry on with the people who care about the culture, who care about to keep Egypt in the head of the market for the cinema or for the culture.
And I think also the president can help in this a lot, because if he can be the only one in charge in
That's right.
talking to people,
I agree with
this
you
will help a lot,
exactly.
because every now and
Exactly.
then we have some speeches delivered, and these speeches are the main cause of different problems.
I agree with you
I have to
exactly.
admit
And
this.
really, I don't know exactly, but really, I told from 2 minutes ago, I said President Morsi have some responsibilities, special responsibilities have to do. Number one, you have to tell, you have to teach everybody what the meaning of the culture, what the meaning of the arts, because really we need to tell everybody about something like this, because really if you need to be as a democracy's elected president, you have to keep, you have to give, you have to respect. And I'm sure still now, like multimedia in a TV and a radio and some of the Islamic channels really have a bad situation, really teach something is very wrong, because really in each time shouts with a bad slogan for the people who work or who have got a job, or who has announcer, some representative, some spokesman in the different channels. And we have to take some decision, to make a decision to prevent this violence against culture and against multimedia.
Doctor, what about literature in 2012? How was it?
Really, it wasn't bad regarding to the situation or circumstances we have, but I'm really optimistic for the future, because the people who care about the culture, the people who care about the cinema in Egypt will keep, and will protect this artificial, inshallah.
How do you see the transitional period under the ruling of the military council?
I think as a one from the Egyptians, I didn't feel 100% this is democracies, because really I didn't got something different. Really, sometimes I said this is democracies because I don't like army or the military to judge or to court or to get rule for Egypt. But really nowadays,
But they
when
fulfilled their promises.
exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not sure there is a difference between President Morsi era and military era, because really still now I haven't got anything different for democracies, and this is not what I mean about democracies, and I didn't see that before, because really I visited maybe 79 countries around the world, and still now I didn't find anything belongs democracies in Egypt.
But doctor, how would you evaluate the performance of the state media channels and the satellite channels of 2012?
I'm really honest, because I got from the Egypt TV, really now there is a great people have to keep the same distance between brotherhood and between the Islamic alliance and the lefts or rebels, and really we got a fair between all of them. And still now I'm sure all of these channels, all of this brotherhood or Hurriya wa Adala parts still now shouts and slogans, bad slogans with the TV, Egyptian TV, and we said no, you haven't any fear. I really and refuse these things, and I'm really got the people who are very have a great amount of fear to deal with the brotherhoods or Islamic alliance and with another parts, and that's I am really happy to get something like this in Egypt TV.
Usually, or we are asking for a national dialogue. It was one of the most important things that we have asked for. And now we've got many national dialogues. How do you evaluate all these dialogues that took place?
Yeah, because really before we know exactly how we love each other, but now we lost something like this, and we have to keep and we have to increase how to love. We have to learn all our child or our guys. There is a lover. There is a